Okay, so if you guys don't already know this, we post one build from the community in our Discord server every single month. So what we're going to do now is we're going to review the last 7 builds that were submitted. 4, 5, 6, 7. And when we're done, I'm going to be asking you guys, who do you think is the winner of this week's community build review? Now, we don't have a strict rubric or scoring sheet or anything like that. You can go off aesthetics, you can go off profit, price to performance, whatever you want to do. Just let me know who you guys think is the winner. So pay attention. This is build numero uno, ladies and gentlemen. Build number 1 is K Mariotti's gaming PC from January of this year. This is rocking an 11700K, an Asus TUF RTX 3080 Ti inside the Lian Li Landcool 2 mesh performance. That looks pretty nice, K Mariotti. Okay, how can we critique this? He knows what he's doing. If you guys don't know K Mariotti, AES Tech Gaming, or AES Tech Gaming? Yeah, AES Tech Gaming. He's got his website, man. He sells it. He sells a ton more builds than I do. But this is this a flip? He didn't really specify if this was a flip or not, but he's a big fan of using these black and gray cable extensions. I like it, especially when you're pairing it with like the silver of the Lian Li AIO. I would have definitely liked to see an RGB fan in the rear exhaust, but that's nitpicking because that didn't come with the case. And regardless, this just looks beautiful. I still have yet to build a PC with this blue or light bluish / purple color scheme, which a lot of case manufacturers use to advertise their RGB because it's just such a good color scheme that goes with black. But I still have yet to pull it off because there's always something that goes wrong, whether the RGB software on one of the components doesn't match up right or something. But here, he got the RGB on the Lian Li fans, the RGB on the Lian Li case, and the RGB fans on the T-Force Delta RGB RAM stick, looking absolutely perfectly synergized. And yeah, I really like that. And I do think for this build, I'm actually personally not a big fan of the black and gray extensions. I usually like it to be a solid color or like a contrasty color like red and black, blue and black or something. But I do like it in this build because of the gray on the motherboard, the gray on the AIO, like I said earlier. Very, very nice build, K Mariotti, as usual. All right, build number 2, we got VT's gaming PC Flip from February, rocking an i7 3770, okay, with 16 gigs of DDR3 RAM, a GTX 1050 Ti. Oh, I see an Aries Game 500 watt power supply, and also a Cooler Master MasterBox Q300L, which the 300L gets a ton of hate. For what it is, I actually thought that it was a decent building experience. There's no PSU shroud, and it is an acrylic side panel, so it's definitely objectively not a great option. But when I used it just because of how much hate it got, and the hate is a little overrated because it is an ultra budget case, and it's perfect for a super budget flip like this. But overall, this build looks pretty solid. He is rocking some mix-matched green and blue RAM there, I think, which is a pretty interesting choice. But it looks like he probably just had a bunch of parts looking to throw it all away or assemble it all together in a flip. You hate to see the Aries Game power supply there, especially with a dedicated graphics card. But yeah, I wish he would have included the price. But overall, he probably made a profit with that because that still looks like a pretty solid build. All right, K9 definitely made some profit with this one if it was a flip. This is the third build of the day. This is rocking an i5 6600K, some T4 16GB 3000 megahertz RAM. He's got a Gigabyte GTX 1060 6GB model on here, and that's inside the GameDS Talus E3. And oh my goodness, a couple things are standing out here. First, I really want to use this case. So this is clearly an NZXT case knockoff. Multiple people have told me to try the NZXT knockoff GameDS cases, and I'm definitely going to do that after this because that case looks really, really nice. I also love the photography of this. My goodness, I used to take, like, before I had like a proper studio, in the very first house that I lived in when I started the Zach's Tech Drift channel, I was shooting a lot of my B-roll just like this on the railing on my back deck to get like some nice blurry trees in the background. But he did a really good job waiting for sunset. That way, like, the background isn't like super light and bright and whatnot, and it makes that PC look really, really nice. But he's got some RGB fan action in here. But the other thing that stood out to me was, what's up with these oh, that's the oh, okay. So I don't like this mess here with all of these cables and AIO tubes. I think that looks kind of weird. At least it does from this exact angle. But yeah, he's got his AIO at the bottom, which is the more meta positioning for it. I think it looks stupid when these tubes are coming from the bottom. I actually don't think it's worth it. I would have liked to see this AIO up at the top, or flip it vertically, and that AIO is still not going to be at the highest point. So it would be an acceptable position, as they call it, for the AIO. I don't like when it comes down from the bottom like this, but because it just looks messy, especially when you got the exact same color cable extensions down there. At least from this angle, it looks a little messy. But other than that, this build looks super clean. Really like it, and his photography is obviously on point. So that was build number 3. Okay, anyway, all right, so let's go to build number 4 now. This is from Storkzy. This is a $440 gaming PC flip from February. It has a i5-10400F in there, some G.Skill Ripjaw 16 gigabytes at 3200 megahertz, an RX 460. Wow. And that's inside the Cooler Master Box Lite 3.1. Very interesting combo with the 10400F and RX 460. He paid $440 for it, which is still really low. Maybe, like, I got it. There's no cable extensions in there. Like, it's actually a really nice color scheme. I literally just built a PC on Thirsty Thursday that utilized the aesthetics of this NeTAC 2.5-inch SSD. I actually really like that he was able to do the same thing, like the black and white look. It looks pretty legit, but I have to imagine that he had that 10400 sitting there, or he got like an obnoxious deal on it, because that's not a good pairing, the 10400 and the RX 460. But I'm sure he still got a profit on it. This whole white and black aesthetic looks really good. It would have looked crazy good with either some black, white, or black and white cable extensions in here. But overall, that's actually pretty solid for build number 4. All right, let's go to build number 5. This is Jerome 3. Yeah. This is a $250 PC flip. Oh, wow. You love to see that. i5-7500 Crucial Ballistic 16 gigabyte RIP. He also has an MSI Gaming X 1050 Ti, and that's inside the Cooler Master. Wow, so many Cooler Master cases this week. The MB311 ARGB, so very classic case for flipping. I really like that he added, did he list it on here? Yeah, he added this is so meta. Oh, this is so good, but so many people don't do this. I'm so happy. I love when I see this kind of stuff. This MB311 only comes with 2 RGB fans, and it's one of my big problems with it. Otherwise, this would be a very high-tiered flipping case, but it doesn't come with not even a black fan in the back here, but he bought an extra single 140 millimeter RGB Cooler Master fan, and then that just really completes the color scheme here. He's also got these red and black cable extensions. It all matches the MSI graphics card on here. I would have liked to see a painted CPU cooler over here. That is like the only eyesore of this entire build, but overall that is very, very solid Jerome 3, especially for $250. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. All right, so 2 more builds here. Build number 6 is Toasty Gaming's $500 gaming PC from March of 2022. Whew! You can already tell this is a ZTT community member here, man. That looks clean. Let's go. He's got the Ryzen 5 2600 Crucial Ballistics, 16 gigabytes of white RAM RIP again. He's also got a GTX 980 Ti Founders Edition, which the whole color scheme is based around, of course, and that's inside the Lian Li 205 white. And oh my goodness, he did so many things right with this one, which you love to see. First off, that color scheme just in general looks really, really nice. I have a 980 Founders Edition graphics card that I'm trying to do this exact same theme for. It's going to be white, black, and green, and whenever you do that, It's really hard to match the Founders Edition of these 900 series graphics cards with like vinyl and even cable extensions. It's really hard to do. So I really like how he just bought every component as white, black, and then he got RGB components where you can fine tune the color of those, obviously. So just the fans here are green, but it makes the whole color scheme just come alive really nicely. So I really like that. He also did the custom PSU power supply extensions on the graphics card, combining them together to have like one smooth, continuous line there. That just looks so good. I don't like the micro ATX motherboard inside the full ATX case. That I kind of noticed that like right when I said it, so that's definitely a little bit of an eyesore here, but it doesn't kill the build. The build looks good enough that he can get away with doing that, so good on him. Like if you have like a medium aesthetic build, like that concept obviously looks even worse, but he's got a very nice build here. He'll get away with that. He also rotated the stock cooler on the 2600, which you'd love to see. You guys know I talk about that quite often. Very nice build, Toasty. Did he put the price on that? Yeah, it was a $500 gaming PC. Very solid. Okay, and then build number... Oh, wait, I think I skipped some builds because one was just added. This was just posted 8 minutes ago. Okay, I messed up. Okay, so Ken's was 1. VT's was 2. K9's was 3. Storksy's was 4. Oh, we skipped Sea Fries. Yeah, we skipped Sea Fries. My bad. This is Sea Fries. Okay, we'll go over all the numbers in just a bit. This is Sea Fries' $600 gaming PC flip. This is rocking a Ryzen 3 3300X, some Corsair Vengeance LPX 16 gigabytes at 3200 megahertz, an EVGA GTX 1650 Super, and that's inside the Metallic Gear Neo Mini version 2. And damn, unfortunately that case doesn't have a power supply shroud, but that looks nice. That looks really nice. What's the back plate? Did he do that himself? I don't know what he did to that graphics card. What is that again? EVGA GTX 1650? I don't know what he did to that graphics card. Does anybody know? From Sea Fries? Is he here tonight? I think he's here. It looks like vinyl. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Printer paper? It's definitely... It's got some thickness to it. I shouldn't say that on Twitch. Don't clip that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that is. But overall, that looks very, very nice. He doesn't have cable extensions in there, but I don't hate it because that case doesn't have a power supply shroud. So he did his best, like being able to hide the cables back there. So I won't fault him for that, especially because he used black braided cables. That's fine. That white AIO, which is the ID Cooling Frost Flow, that looks really nice in there. This is a really solid build. This is really, really solid. PSU, yeah, a lot of people say that. DJ Rio says cases with the power supply on top are a no-go for me. I have literally never felt that, and I actually don't even understand it. Because, what was that case? I think it was from Antec a couple years ago. I forget. But a lot of people say that, and even if it has a shroud, a PSU shroud, even if it's up top, people just don't like it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, that doesn't... I would go as far to say, like, I don't even have a preference if the power supply is on top and bottom. Obviously, it's more common to see it on the bottom, but I legitimately don't even have a preference. It's not something that, like, goes through my mind. I think the aesthetic of it's perfectly fine up there. I'm definitely always interested when people talk about that. So we will do 8 builds this week, just because one was posted today, and this is Shauner's $2,350 PC flip coming in March of this year. This has a i7 12700K, G.Skill Ripjaws 5, 32 gigabytes of 3600 megahertz RAM in EVGA RTX 3070 Ti, and that's of course inside the NZXT H510 Flow, which is legitimately a very, very, very underrated case option. Nobody's using it. And I've used it twice now. The first time NZXT sent it to me, that way I could get a day one launch review on it. And then I just bought it again for that Western Digital giveaway PC build video. And honestly, I want to buy it again. It's so clean and you can do whatever you want with it, especially with this all black model, because it's just like, it's like a blank palette. Okay, it's an all black ATX sized case. You got enough of the front airflow that you need, and it's just like it's still got that NZXT cleanness to it. So I don't know why people aren't using it. It goes on sale for $90, which you could make the argument for $90 without coming with RGB fans. That it's definitely not like priced super competitively for PC flips. For a personal build that you buy like once every 5 years, it's definitely competitively priced. But yeah, I wish people would use it more often. But one of the things you can do is just do an all-out black gaming PC like Shawner did. He's got the AIO kind of matching, which is the Arctic Liquid Freezer 2. That EVGA graphics card matches perfectly. He's got the black cable extensions, the black Ripjaws 5 RAM. He's also using, I see, the MSI Pro Z690A Wi-Fi motherboard, which is the motherboard that I'm constantly recommending for Intel 12th gen builds. And of course, he's got the signature Shawner blurred out background. You can see the kitchen back there. You can see the RGB lights on top of his kitchen cupboards. Classic Shawner flip. Okay, so here we go. Let's review all of these again real quickly. I'm going to give you the number. Remember, we don't have an official rubric or score sheet or anything. Just who do you think is the winner? You can go off aesthetics. You can go off profit of their, or the price to performance of like their flip or whatnot, whatever, or maybe photo aesthetics, however you guys want to do it. Just let me know who you think is the winner. So number one is Kay Mariotti's 11700K and RTX 3080 Ti build. Number two is VT's Flip with the 3770 and the GTX 1050 Ti. Number three is K9's 6600K and GTX 1060 build. Number four is Storksy's $440 gaming PC flip with the 10400F and the RX 460. Number five is Seafry's $600 gaming PC flip with the 3300X and the GTX 1650 Super. Six is Jerome's $250 flip with the 7500 and the MSI GTX 1050 Ti. Build numero 7 is, oops, gotta go down here, is Toasty Gaming's $500 gaming PC flip with the 2600 and the GTX 980 Ti Founders Edition. And then finally, number 8 is Shawner's $2,350 gaming PC flip with the 12700K and the RTX 3070 Ti. Wow. That was hard. I can't count to 8 while talking to you guys at the same time. 1 through 8, just quickly, no poll is necessary. Just let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me figure out who I think the winner is, and maybe I can do a little confirmation bias, and hopefully enough of you thinking the same thing. This is actually really competitive. This is really competitive because Shawner, of course, he's always in the running. He's got his photo aesthetics are always on point. His build aesthetics are on point as well. However, and like this is an amazing gaming PC, but it's not like over the top aesthetics. It's just an all black build, which looks really good. But I don't know if it's enough to win the competition. Toasty's looks very on point. Like I said, that Founders Edition GTX 900 series cards, they're hard to match. So I like how successful he was. Honestly, I really like this one, but I don't think it's good enough to be a winner. That one looks good. That one looks good. That one looks good. And then Kay Mariotti's at number 1. That, of course, looks good. That's really tough, man. That's really tough. I don't have a winner in my head yet. I want to see what you guys are saying. All right. I'm going to give the winner to Toasty Gaming because, once again, I might have myself a little bit of a bias towards these Founders Edition graphics cards, but not because I like the aesthetic of the green power supplies, but because I know how hard it is to make those builds look good. And since I have a 980 Founders Edition card, I'm going to steal this template, and this is exactly what I'm going to do. All white, little bit of black, nothing is green except the RGBs. That way you don't have to mix match the green colors. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Toasty Gaming on this one. That looks really good. So for the full parts list, because he is the winner, this was his $500 gaming PC from March. It has a Ryzen 5 2600, 16 gigabytes of Crucial Ballistics white RAM on there, a Gigabyte B450 Aorus M, a GTX 980 Ti Founders Edition, Samsung 970 EVO 500 gigabyte SSD, also a Seagate 500 gigabyte hard drive in there, Corsair CX550M 80 plus bronze certified. Power supply, a Lian Li 205 white case, and an iBuyPower, or some iBuyPower RGB fans, which I don't know, maybe took from an iBuyPower pre-build or something. I don't know if they sell them individually. They very well could. But this is the winner of this week's Community Builds review. Let's go. Congrats, Toasty. Very solid.